was sad most of the time before that.
I just want to do a video real quick on this because I am curious. I mean, like, I've ignored it for a while. I watched like one video and then I heard about another video with Andrew Tate, one of the content creators I tend to watch. I remember specifically talked about when he was canceled or whatever couple months ago. I was interested in this because I was like, I don't understand, why do a lot of people have an issue with him? I'm curious as to. So I picked out his most controversial clips to kind of like react to. So let's go.
Let me change that. You will only even acknowledge he exists if he's ignored how he feels 99% of the time before that. Because if he was sad most of the time before that, he never would have got to a place where he could attract a woman like you. The man who works in Starbucks, who's sad all the time, you won't reply to him. Neither will any other female. So for women to come along and pretend they give a about the fact that most men are basically invisible. There is not a female on the planet who's invisible today. You can be a 4, overweight, fat, you'll still go to the club and get attention. 99% of the men go to the club and nobody even talks to them. If they try and talk to a girl, they get blanked and ignored and told to. Most men are absolutely and utterly invisible. This is the truth about masculinity, right? It's very easy for women to sit here and complain about the top 2% of men. I dealt with this guy, he's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Most men don't even exist. They send 10,000 DMs and never even get read, let alone replied to. So if you just sit here and say, I'll get a G, a big G, a boss, a million.
Well, first off, I really think for this portion of the clip, I kind of feel like, first off, there's a lot of situations with these type of people in the manosphere that are interesting to me because it's like they talk a lot about, for example, I didn't hear it from him, but you know, the same kind of context and the same kind of argument basically of talking about basically like the chads and so forth. And to me, it's just like, I think with the chats and things of that nature, a lot of the time these people will basically have this idea that first off that they have a certain woman in mind. Like, this is why the norm for them is the woman in the club, the party girl, you know, the popular girl. And they think that this type of girl basically only pays attention to the top 2%. And it's not just that. See, if a woman had that type of, even if they had the type of look that they wanted that had to do with that type of girl, even in that case, they're still not going to really be focused on that girl unless she is the mentality they're looking for. See, they only want a certain type of woman. They always say that women want a certain type of chad. But in reality, they want the woman who wants a chad. And they want to be a chad. That's what's going on there. It's not like women specifically just want that type of man. They don't specifically want someone who makes a lot of money, specifically a man who has a certain type of job, specifically want a man who is of a certain age bracket, whatever the age bracket is. You can't name one age bracket a woman wants because women are varied. As I've said before, women are individuals. And since women are individuals, this is why women, not all women, even want men. Some women just want women. They don't even want men. They're not attracted to men. So you can safely say that there isn't one type of man that a woman wants when there are women that don't even want men to begin with. Now, that's my point here is in reality, these people from the manosphere generally want a specific type of woman. They are the ones who want the 2%, basically, or a specific niche of a woman. You want the woman who's more popular, the woman who looks a certain way, a woman who is more of a party girl, more of the type that goes to a club, the type that probably uses certain types of substances, whether it's alcohol, whatever it is. You want that type of girl. That's not every type of, not every woman's going to fit into that category, but there are some women that do. And of that type of woman, they have to treat these type of men like they are nothing unless they are the 2%, basically. They're not the 2%, and they treat them like a valid and a serious candidate for someone who they would actually want to be with. They will be saying that woman has something wrong with her. She doesn't value herself. She has some kind of problem that they don't know about. She has baggage, so forth. So they cut themselves down before they could ever get any option to be with a girl that is like that would actually give them the time of day, because they don't think they're worthy enough until they become the top 2%. That's fine. If that's what you need to do with your life, then that's what you need to do with your life. Maybe that can be your motivation, And he talks about that, and that's great. I don't have anything against that. But yeah, to me, that's a part of the whole manosphere argument that is kind of like, well, you kind of did it to yourself, but this is something you can't really help that you did to yourself, because, this is what you want, right? This is exactly what you asked for, So, yeah, continue though.
Let him have a day off. Very nice of you. I'm sure you would. Yeah. But if a guy who wanted to have days off all the time, he never would have got important enough in the first place to attract a woman like you. And that is the reality. As a man, it's player versus player. It's ultimately competitive. And as a man, you have to outcompete the other men who are prepared to get up and do it anyway. That's how it works. There's no such thing as saying, I'm sad, I need 2 weeks off. Not as a man if you want to be important. I mean, if 12 tigers attack me and I manage to defeat 11 in unarmed combat with my Aikido and the last tiger gets my neck, that's a fine way for Tate to die. You cheated. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch! Why would you suck dick for free?
Because I love doing it.
Yeah, I don't see how that's controversial, that clip. I don't get it. If they like doing that, then that's cool. Some things I think is weird with Andrew Tate, with people having issues with it. I think honestly, maybe it's that some women in particular that have an issue with it. I think it's because it's something that is in them, that is an Achilles heel that he's talking about, that triggers them. It makes them feel vulnerable. Maybe it's something they actually want. To me personally, it's just like, well, I'm not into that kind of thing. And like, if you find a woman that is, good luck. That's cool. That's great. And it seems like if he's happy, then he's happy. If she's happy, she's happy, kind of thing. I don't get the point or the problem. I don't get the problem with some of the clips that they say are like problematic. That's not problematic in my opinion. Continue.
What the fuck? I don't like, what the fuck? I love sucking dick. Why would I?
You have no future with these men, so why not at least get paid for it?
I am getting paid for it on fucking OnlyFans. I don't need them to pay me. I make way more than they could ever give me.
They get paid twice. I don't believe.
Well, I understand her perspective, but I understand what he's saying. I guess that's his perspective. But to me, it's just like, I don't get, I understand that, because you don't want to bring on the impression that you only will suck dick because someone is paying you. If you like it, that's what you like doing. Like, when you have sex and so forth, if you're enjoying yourself, you don't want to give off the impression that it's just for money. That kills the fucking mood. If someone feels they're paying for it, then they're gonna also, that's another thing. They're gonna want everything their way and everything and all that. And they're gonna have their way and everything. Why not? Like, if you want it to be the way you want it and you want it for your own sexual needs, well, you're not gonna let anyone pay you for it because you want it your way. Now, that could have to do with the fact that, someone who is a little bit less dominant, specifically, they might be more receptive to what another person is doing, while if you are more the one calling the shots, obviously you do not want to be the one being paid to do it, because then it gets rid of the power dynamic, and now you put the power in the other person's hands. Anyway, in what he's talking about, I don't really see anything wrong with what he said there, or that he's controversial. That was just his opinion on how he thought that lady should conduct herself. Anyway.
Don't message me about depression because I don't believe in it. If you're asleep in your bed in the middle of the night and you hear a noise and you believe in ghosts, now you're afraid. But if you don't believe in ghosts, ask the wind and you go back to sleep. You give the ghosts power by believing in them. Your house is only haunted if you believe in ghosts. Belief is a powerful thing. If I were to stand in front of you and I were to tell you that I could punch you as hard as I can in your sternum, and I could fracture it and send a splinter into your heart, would you allow me to try? You wouldn't, because you know I believe I can. I believe I can hurt any man on the planet, and that's why people are afraid of me. And you believe depression is a crippling disease, and that's why you're afraid of it.
What would you do if I wanted to start?
That was actually a good clip. I liked it, actually. It seemed more empowering than anything. You're saying put power back into your hands to someone who is having issues with depression. I mean, like, that's a good idea. When you start to feel helpless and like you can't do anything on your own, that's the most dangerous part of depression. I mean,
I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with women doing OnlyFans, as long as I had influence in control over it.
What do you mean? Doing a bit of photographer and get the angles, yeah?
No. I'm not doing any real work, but just like taking all the money. If my chick said I want to do OnlyFans, I'm like, all right, then cool, go do it. How much you made? 10 grand, all right, give me 8. All right, cool.
What woman is going to give you 8 grand?
You're my woman, you're doing OnlyFans, you're selling my products. What the fuck?
Your products?
Yes, correct. Next question.
No. See, I don't know if you're being serious.
I'm totally serious. How would I let my chick do OnlyFans and keep all the money? That's disrespectful.
What woman is ever going to give you that?
Then she better not do OnlyFans. Duh. Imagine one day you're sitting in Paris and having a
that was funny. But I don't really understand, like, well, I mean, like, a lot of men wouldn't want their woman doing OnlyFans. So, I mean, like, that's kind of like personal thing. I don't think that's upsetting. I mean, a lot of people respond different ways to someone doing OnlyFans or, like, any kind of work like that. So, I don't really see anything wrong with that.
coffee and terrorists roll through with AKs. The person next to you has their brains blown. You're going to stand there like, waiting to die like a motherfucker. I'm going to be like, bang, oh, seen that before. Okay, boom, boom, duck and dive in, take one terrorist out. Next, get the AK, go Rambo, take out all of fucking Pakistan with the Jeep. I don't think the world has ever been equal. That the modern society we live in has been built by men. Let's cut the crap. All the roads you see, all the buildings you see, everything around you, men built. All of it. When women come along and say, oh, we're just as important, you are just as important, but you had a completely different role. You fulfilled a different role in society. And I think now, if you look at the roles of society, I believe men are still doing their job, but I don't know if women are doing their job. Men are still out here building the modern world. But when they come home now, the girl's like, oh, why should I cook for you?
Would you be with me if I'd slept with over 50 men?
Yeah, to me, I think on that first part, I think, well, he's just talking about historically, but I mean, like, to me, he can think that women are not cooking his food or not being as traditional as they used to be long ago. I mean, in this day and age, more women will be building. So, I mean, it is what it is. His role in life is to find a woman that fits his needs, in my opinion. So if he feels like a lot of women are failing him in fitting his needs, what he needs to do is look for one who does. And it does seem like maybe that's what he's doing, so then I don't see the problem with that. Anyway, continue.
I'm a high value woman, right?
How can you be high value if 50 men have slept with you?
If I've just been single for a long time.
Unacceptable.
Why is that unacceptable?
Somewhere on this planet.
Now, the only thing I had a thing with that conversation was, I think it's a personal thing to want a smaller body count, but the thing I think is with that is, if you have a big body count, how are you asking anyone to have a low body count? But, a lot of men do that, and I find it very weird, because it's like, from a perspective of someone with a low body count, because my body count is only 4, it's always odd to me, because it's like, you do understand, regardless of your sex, when you sleep with lots of people, and you're with someone who has a small body count, that small body count person now has slept with all those people without getting any of the fun. So they slept with all the people you slept with without getting any of that fun. How is that supposed to be a benefit for the person with the low body count? That's my perspective, And as far as health and things of that nature, it is not a good idea to get with a guy with a large body count. Large body count men need to go with large body count women. That's my perspective, because I feel like you guys need to share all that stuff amongst each other more so than trying to go to people who have low body counts, and trying to basically contaminate them. Keep that amongst each other. That's how I see that. Now, that was not the focus, though. My thing was, how are you doing the cross thing and then you go off and saying haram? I understand he's a convert to Islam, and I'm a Muslim too. But I don't understand, how are you crossing yourself and then you said haram? That's kind of antithetical. Those are Catholics. Catholics cross themselves. And haram, I understand, I understand that, but I mean, yeah, it's just kind of like you did a cross-faith sign, basically. You did one sign from Christians, Catholics, and then you said haram, which is, for Muslims. But yeah, anyway, continue.
There is someone who is your age, may look a bit like you, who was just given some bad fucking news. Either they were just given a cancer diagnosis and given 2 weeks to live, or the police just knocked on the door and said, your family's, a cement truck ran them all over, they're splattered all over the road. My family, all of them. I guarantee a bomb in Syria or a chemical attack in Yemen. There's someone your age who just got given some bad fucking news. And if you were to sit there and explain to them your problems, they would swap lives with you in a heartbeat. And this is what most of you motherfuckers don't understand. You're not grateful for what you have because you don't understand and don't anticipate that there's someone out there who would do anything to have what you have. I'm not even talking about me with my Lambo and my beautiful women and all my shit. I'm talking about just a normal, safe life where you can watch hate speech YouTube videos and no one's going to bomb your house. There are people who would do anything to trade with you. And if you were to sit there and try and explain to them all your problems, but you don't want to, I'm depressed, and I have a girlfriend, and it's hard to make money, and my life's hard, and you were to tell them all your stupid reasons that you don't like your life, they'd sit there and listen to them all and go, okay, no problem, let's swap, and they'd sign on the dotted line. Some child is outside enjoying their life, playing.
Yeah, I would say, personally, I definitely think that that's a pretty uplifting clip there. I don't think anyone has anything against that one. Continue.
Toys and smiling in the sunshine and having fun. I hate happiness. I hate happy children. Anyway, you're all losers. We've discussed this before. I'm the king of the world. No. You don't go to the club with your friends. I don't know what kind of bitch-ass dude is letting his chicks go to the club with her friends without him. No.
You stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You're not, no restaurants, no clubs, nothing. Because life for a man is harder than life for a woman. Most men live depressing lives. For most men out here, they can't even feel wanted. Their wife left them. They're invisible to women. Their kids don't talk to them. They're just not wanted. Society has huge burdens on men. We're supposed to be smart. We're supposed to be rich. We're supposed to be interesting. Gotta have jokes, gotta have chat lines, right? Gotta be charming, gotta be cool, experiences, stories. We need to have a lot of shit to be an important man. To be a woman, you need makeup.
So, first off, I do think think about not leaving the house or whatever. I kind of feel like I said, this goes back down to the type of woman he's looking for. I don't understand why people don't realize it's in the context of what he's talking about in his life. Now, on the children thing, that I think that's just kind of like jealousy, because he had a bad childhood, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, to me, I mean, like, I don't really see anything wrong with what he was saying. I think he's saying that those people are, living wasteful lives, and that basically when they go out, they don't have a good purpose in going out. So, I mean, like, that's, I don't know, it seems like for what he's talking about, it's being taken out of context. But anyway, continue. On the other thing that he was talking about just here, sorry. I kind of feel like with this, like I said, it goes back to the type of woman he wants, right? So he's talking about in the context of the specific type of woman that he wants, in that he thinks that their lives are easy because all they have to do is put on makeup, while these women don't want him unless he does all these fantastical things in his life to impress them. So, I mean, like, I don't really see anything. Like I said, it goes back to the whole thought process of what I was saying in the beginning, where he specifically, people like that, people in the manosphere, where they think that the only way to have the type of woman they want, respect them and want them, is if they accomplish all these things in their lives, and they have all these goals, all this money, all the things that they want to have in their life to be able to be respectable to a woman that they want, And if a woman was to respect them while they were working at Starbucks, they would never give that woman the time of day, because they feel that that woman is obviously of low value to them. Because they feel like any woman who is of good value for them would want someone who is the top 2%. So that's why it's like, basically, like I said in the beginning, they want to become the top 2% chat dude, whatever thing going up there. And they feel like the only way they can become that is, going through all those hurdles and reaching their goals in life to impress that woman, basically. So it's a kind of a thing that they have in their own heads, basically. And the only woman that they want is the type of woman that has the same mindset as them. Rightfully so. That's generally how partnerships work anyway. So I don't really see anything wrong with their mindset. I do see that, well, obviously it's not all women that are like this. It's the women you want that are like that. The women that are emotionally like that, mentally like that, and physically, live the same lifestyle you're describing, and so forth. Anyway, continue.
I got a message on Instagram, and it was from a young 17-year-old, and he said, "I'll do anything. I want to be mafia like you. Can we work together?" And I sat there and I said to Tristan, why does everyone think we're mafia? We're not mafia. Like, we don't run around with machine guns. I mean, obviously we have guns. Our house is full of machetes. Are we mafia? Anyway, I don't think I'm mafia. So I said to Tristan, look, we're not mafia. And Tristan goes, yes, we are. I said, why? He goes, we're two huge fighting brothers with women naked on the internet who own casinos, who drive around Bucharest, Romania in over $2 million worth of fucking supercars. Everyone's afraid of us. And if anyone did piss us off at any point, even if we didn't want to fuck them up ourselves, we can make one phone call and they'd either be in a ditch or lose their any right to stay here. They'd have some visa issue and kicked out the country, or arrested for no reason and put in a jail cell for months at a time. We are basically as mafia as you can get. So I guess I'm mafia. I didn't mean to be. So I was sitting there going, well, I never intended on being an organized criminal. How do you end up being mafia? And I've concluded that if you are competent in every single sphere, you're going to be viewed as mafia. If you're a big, strong, smart, rich guy who's super well connected, how can you not be mafia? How can you not be when everyone wants to know you? Who doesn't want to know the kickboxing world champion walks into the club with 20 big booty cuties? Everyone wants to know me. The mafia want to know me. So I don't need to be mafia if all my friends are mafia.
And also the idea of the first.
Yeah, I don't really see anything. He's just boasting, bragging there. I don't really see anything there. That doesn't seem controversial. It seems like he's just saying that some people perceive him to be powerful or something, I guess. Oh, I don't know. Like, doesn't seem so when he's in jail, but hey, who knows?
Member of color in this family.
This one.
We all knew it was coming. It's the get out of jail free card of the modern world. Megan, you're lighter than me. Look at her face. She's white. She's basically white. Megan, no one looks at you and thinks black girl. Nobody. Don't try the black person card. If you're black and you're watching this, you should be very offended that this light-skinned woman is going to try and play the black card. I was victimized because I am a Negro. Look at your straight hair. You're so black. Season me some chicken, bitch. And when it comes back, tasteless, bland, then we will know. We'll know conclusively. You ain't black. Stop saying it. You're a liar. And now she's adding race. Because what happened is Oprah was starting to dig a bit. And Megan saw herself getting cornered in her lie. So when you get cornered, you bring out the big guns. Shit. Race. Race. Look at my skin. Look at my pigment. I'm a tiny bit brown. Shut.
Yeah, this was the only part where I was like, a little like. Then I realized I was like, well, you are from England, but right? You're born in England. If you're from America, I'm like kind of confused here, because to me, I would think, to me, Andrew Tate looks black. Now, I wouldn't say he looks like the example of the black race, okay? The original example of the black race, most people don't even fit in that category, okay? Certain hair texture, facial features, all that stuff. But, like, when we're talking about black Americans, for example, yeah, he definitely looks black. And it was kind of weird that he thought that he wasn't black, or he didn't look black, or that someone looking lighter than him would mean they weren't black, or that they were white. I mean, like, no. He, in my opinion, he looks like a light-skinned black man. I mean, like, he could literally be related to someone like Stephen Curry easily. I don't think he's much lighter than him, honestly. And he has 2 black parents. So, and there's plenty of other examples of people who are people with 2 black parents who look like him. I wouldn't think he was white passing. I think that's interesting that he thought he was white passing, or that Meghan Markle was white passing. That was interesting as well. To me, I wouldn't say either of them are white passing. Halsey is white passing, yes. And like, you can still see in her natural state that she does have some black in her. But on the American standard of what we're talking about black, which is very different than the racial standard of it, yeah, he would definitely fit in with black Americans who are lighter skinned, you know. That's just what it is. I have family myself that specifically would fit with him. Like, my uncle would definitely fit with him. And my other cousin looks way more white than him. Like, he's much lighter, and he actually is white passing. And he has 2 black parents, or, well, what I'm saying is 2 parents that by American standards, of seeing the American, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people of African descent. Like, his mother is like 90 to 95% African ancestry. Some of that is North African, but still, he still has a good amount of sub-Saharan as well. So I would say that, I just kind of find that weird, his concept of race, when we're talking about the American idea of race, and how the social experience of race, she might not be put into the white categories per se, but like something that's more mixed as well as him. So I kind of find that weird that he was trying to say that she was white. That's the only thing I kind of disagreed with the controversial statements he said. There was another thing that I saw he said in reference to women who were, but it wasn't on here. It was somewhere else I saw it, but I'm not going to add the clip here. But I saw a clip saying specifically, I could look at it. I don't think. Let me see if I can find it. He had one where he was talking about age, but I can't find it. It's fine, I guess. My point was, he had one where he was talking about women who were 18 or 19, and that's his preference or whatever, and that he didn't want to date women who were over 25 or something of that nature. And some people were saying that that was misogynist or whatever. But the reason he gave was not misogynist at all. It seems like it's in line again with the lifestyle he lives, in my opinion. And maybe it's because I can relate, since I am myself attracted to mainly men under 25 myself. And for some reason, I don't understand, why is 25 like a barrier between the age ranges? But it is. I don't know why it is, but it is. Like, I've tried to be with men who were like over 25, like, and I don't mean like a lot over, like 26, 27, 28, and I think 20, and I never had sex with them, because it couldn't happen. But I mean, like, just dated them basically. And it's just like the energy. I think it has to do with the testosterone, really, personally. But yeah, anyway, my point is, no, it's not testosterone. I don't know what it is. I think it actually has to do with something more emotional, maybe? Not really sure. But anyway, he was saying for him, his reason was he specifically did not want to date women who were like under, like, who were like 25, because of all the men that they slept with or whatever. Makes sense, because from what he's describing, the type of woman he's describing is like more the party girl. By 25, she probably has had sex with a lot of different women. I wanted to point this out because, see, he's saying like women who are like 18 or 19, right? I'm looking at this clip here, for example. Just watch.
My body count is 10.
Oh, damn. Okay, so here's the real question. Do I lie or do I say the truth?
You could divide by 3.
Nah. Okay, yeah. Mine's, I think it's like 13, I would say. I think. Yeah.
13?
Yeah.
Per.
You think? So
mine is actually 1. Yeah,
just one.
just 1.
And it's your current boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's precious.
It's special. She's telling the truth. So like 4.
Multiply it by 3, and that's the real number.
So 12? According
If
to
we're-
Steven Stifler.
Okay, Steven.
to
Okay,
Stiff Man.
Steven.
According to the
If
Stiffmeister.
we're talking about
Okay, so see, like I said, when you're dealing with certain type of people, at 19 or 18, it seems like that would be probably pretty safe for an individual of a certain caliber, because certain people, apparently their body count is at 10, 13, high numbers, honestly. But I guess to some people that's not a high number. People who have more of a promiscuous, I guess, journey, or a higher body count journey, if that's the type of woman you're into, then, I mean, and it seems like a lot of these type of people have that type of woman they're into, then what would you think their body count would be at 25? That's my point in this. It's kind of like, well, if you're talking about that type of person, well, yeah, I would think you should probably start at around 18, because, I mean, like, if they're starting off with, like, a body count of 10, 13, or, like, even 4. Honestly, I feel like even 1 is kind of interesting, because you're 18, 19, starting off that way. But I guess that could be common, especially if you have a long-term relationship, but definitely 10, 13, and even 4, you would want to start off really early for a person who is going to have a high body count by the time they're 25. So I don't really see anything wrong with that either. Just pointing that one out as well. Most of the things I watched on Andrew Tate, I just don't really have any issue with. Personally, to me, it's like, I've seen a lot of stuff that the manosphere brings up, and I don't have an issue with it. It just seems like, well, you're just looking to a different type of woman, and I mean, like, I don't know, like, that's cool. Like, everyone has a type, right? There's nothing wrong with having a specific type of woman that you want, I don't even really find him to be that misogynist concerning the women that he's dealing with. To me, it's like, well, he's dealing with these type of women. So he's getting his opinion off of those type of women. If anything, you should have, I guess, an issue with the type of women that are making him come up with this type of opinion, kind of women. And also, it's not just that. Some of the other types of behaviors that people have had an issue with Andrew Tate and some of the things he said, well, it's like, for example, I remember I watched one part where he was saying that he owned that woman, or the women he's with, and things of that nature. Those type of women encourage that kind of behavior, right? So you can't really say that that's on him. It's kind of a mutual relationship, right? And they both encourage that kind of behavior. So you can't blame the man, blame him for women encouraging him to have that type of behavior. If anything, I mean, well, hey, if the woman is happy with that type of man, then, it's a match made in heaven, kind of situation. That's a match made for them to be happy together in that fashion. So I just don't see him as a problem. I don't. And this is what happens often with the manosphere. It's like specific things that they'll talk about that people will have an issue with. And I feel like the reason they have an issue with it, I think, is because that's what they want subconsciously, but they kind of like don't consciously, I think, and that's why it bothers them. Personally, to me, I don't. So it's just kind of like it's, for someone else, and I don't really have an issue with it. They're saying that this is how women are. To me, like in real life, when men have implied that that's how women are, they'll usually realize that's not how I am. So they got to move on eventually, So I mean, like, I don't know. To me, it's not like something like I have an issue with, because it's like, well, they'll eventually realize that not every woman is like that and, go on to someone who is, kind of situation. With relationships, dating, and compatibility, you're supposed to be looking for someone who is compatible with you, and not everyone is going to fit, because that's the whole point of dating and relationships. It's supposed to be exclusive to the people that are compatible with you. So I don't know. To me, I haven't found anything that was really upsetting to me that I've seen on Andrew Tate. To me, I mean, there's a lot of assumptions that may be incorrect, but those assumptions aren't incorrect about the women he's dealing with. So yeah, that's all I really have to say in this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye.